What's up, ladies? Hello, hello, hello. Okay, first and foremost, as always, hey, make sure you are in our free Facebook group. It's called Macro Tracking and Weightlifting for Women. We share loads of free resources, lots of support, and are always here to chat for more support. All right, so today we got the question of why am I gaining weight in a deficit? Renata said, how do I adjust my macros when my deficit is not responding the right way? I'm putting on more weight than if I was on higher macros. Like, why am I gaining weight in a deficit? I'm going to give you guys just a second to hop on before I dive right in, because I want to make sure that you're getting all the information and are not confused about the topic. Okay, beautiful. What's up, ladies? Go ahead and say hi as you're coming on. Feel free to chat in the comments as well. Okay, cool. So I'll share the question one more time. So Ms. Renata said, why am I gaining weight in a deficit? How do I adjust my macros when the deficit is not responding the right way? I'm putting on more weight than if I was on higher macros. What's going on? So I'll tell you right now, if you're gaining weight in a deficit, 99.9% chance you're not really in a deficit. That's the problem, right? So I'm going to share some habits that need to be tightened up, like where the problem is aligning. But a true deficit, you would not be gaining weight. Now, there is one caveat to this, actually two caveats to this. The first one is hypothyroidism. You don't typically gain weight, but if you're plateauing in a deficit, oftentimes that means you actually need higher macros, okay? So this video, it will still apply to you, but just know there is a rule of exception there. The other one is if you have extremely high stress, right? Being in a deficit is another stressor on your body. So if you're gaining weight, it's not fat, right? You're not gaining fat in a deficit. But if you have really high stress and you're trying to be in a deficit, your body may be retaining just loads of water. So the scale is coming up. And so again, the answer would be increasing calories, because oftentimes when we're super stressed, increasing calories to maintenance can be an amazing thing and a stress mitigator. And in maintenance, listen closely, ladies, in maintenance, you are not gaining weight. You are not gaining weight. In maintenance, the scale stays right about the same. You're losing fat, so you're becoming a tighter version of yourself, and you're gaining muscle really efficiently. If you're gaining weight week after week after week, you are not in maintenance and you are not in a deficit. You're in a surplus. Okay, so just keep that in mind. There's a lot of misinformation around that. Some people say, oh, don't worry, if you're in a deficit, you're gaining weight, you're just gaining muscle. No. No, if you're in a deficit and you're gaining weight, you're not in a deficit. Okay, so here are some areas to gather some accountability on, to say, okay, I'm in a deficit, it's not responding. What's happening? Here's some things that might be happening. You're taking bites, licks, tastes. You're like, oh, it's just a little bit. It's not going to add up. It adds up. Hundreds of calories without realizing it adds up. Over a week span, bam, you're out of a deficit, into maintenance, and maybe even into surplus. So track everything you eat. Is it sometimes tedious? It sure is. Just like tracking your finances, right? But it always reaps amazing results, and it's worth it, especially because it doesn't have to happen forever. Be in the deficit, lose all the fat you want, come up to maintenance, build and shape your body, wean off macros, right? You don't have to track macros forever. They're an amazing tool you can always fall back on. You don't have to track macros forever. But do the right thing on the front end, right? Be meticulous, track everything on the front end, so then you can enjoy the rest of your years and not keep wanting this, keep chasing this. It's like, let's just get it done, right? So bites, licks, and tastes, cut them out or track it. Put the peanut butter or whatever on the scale, tear the scale, so then you can lick the knife and it's already accounted for. Okay, so that's a way. Another one is calorie banking. We've talked about this before, where you're saving a lot of calories that night or for one big meal and you're not eating very much during the day. That can actually have you cause fat in a deficit, which is really unfair. So if you want a video on calorie banking, just comment calorie banking. I'll send it to you. It talks about it, what it is, what it does, that type of thing. Here's another problem, is you're not really tracking everything you eat, right? You might be tracking after you eat. That never works. That's like 100% fail rate. Oftentimes you'll forget, You're not really tracking the right weight. Like there's so many things. And so make sure you're always tracking before you eat it, because who knows if it even fits, right? Pre-planning is ideal. If you want more information on what pre-planning is or how to do it, you can comment pre-planning. I have a free video as well. Pre-planning is a surefire way to total macro compliance success. And you can still be flexible. It's okay if you get to that meal, you don't want that anymore, okay? But really make sure you're tracking before you eat and you're tracking every single thing you eat. Just because it looks good on paper doesn't mean we should track it like that. We should track what we actually eat. Awareness can hurt sometimes, but awareness is the way to growth, right? You don't have to shame yourself. Just have the awareness, accept it for what it is, and then make a decision from there, okay? Here's another one that really gets women. Tracking in cups and tablespoons is not accurate. It's almost as bad as eyeballing, believe it or not. It will throw your macros way off. I recommend only tracking in grams. I only track in grams or milliliters. They're the exact same on the scale and in my fitness file, whatever you use. Only track in grams. Use your scale for everything because it's extremely accurate. It's a small unit of measure. We had I think she's a current client actually, so I know she is. We had her way back in the day. She said, look, it's not that much of a difference. I'm going to keep tracking in cups and tablespoons because it's easier for me and I'm used to it. I'm like, okay, totally hear you. Can you just do me a favor? Let's just get curious and let's just test it out. Let's just test it out one time, right? She messaged back. She said, I am mind blown. My breakfast was almost double the amount of calories as I was tracking. I'm like, I know. Because I wouldn't tell you to do something that wasn't worthwhile, that wasn't worth your time. Throw the cups and the tablespoons back in the drawer, not out, back in the drawer. Use your scale for everything. It's so worth it. It gets really fast. Tracking macros takes forever in the beginning, only in the beginning, because when you get good at it, it's the simplest, fastest thing. Invest your time in practicing because it will pay massive dividends to live in a fit, healthy, strong, confident body for the rest of your life. It is worth the investment now to have that for the rest of your life. Okay. Otherwise, it's costing you that confidence and comfort. No. Okay, here is another habit that needs to be really tightened up. Be brutally honest with yourself. When you're eating out, if you're like, oh, that meal was so good, I'm stuffed, and you tracked 350 calories, no way. It was probably like 1,400. That might sound extreme. Surprisingly, it's not. I eat out all the flipping time. I know eating out and macros very, very well. If you have questions on that, shoot me a message. I can totally talk through different things with you. But we always want to over track versus under track, meaning I'm actually about to go out to eat after this. I love being out in my community, working on my laptop, having people around me. I hate being trapped in my house. Okay, that's why I eat out all the time. I know I'm about to go eat my grilled chicken Caesar salad, whatever. That's what I normally get. Dressing, always on the side, saves hundreds of calories. I'm not going to track 10 grams, which is like 2/3 of a tablespoon, because I might have 10 grams, but I'm going to track like 25, right? So I have leeway. So I'm over tracking what I think I'm really going to eat, because oftentimes we actually eat more than we think we do. So over tracking gives you the buffer. It gives you the buffer. Here's the cool thing, ladies. The more you do this, the more you track, the more you weigh your food, all of that, you'll better understand how you feel after, let's say, 450 calories or whatever, right? So when you go eat out, you're like, okay, sweet, I tracked 450 calories. And you're like, I'm starving. You can be like, you know what? I know what my body feels like when I eat about 450 calories. This is not it. So cool, because I overtracked, but maybe I can make a few adjustments. Same is true if you track 450 and you're like, I'm so full. And you're like, you know what? Normally after 450 calories, I'm like barely satiated, or wherever you're at metabolically, right? So that's really helpful, but that does definitely take time. Here's the other thing though. Women say, I have no idea how to track when I'm eating out. Like it is just a up in the air guess. That's okay. In the beginning, it might be a little bit. Again, the more you track on this scale, the more you'll be able to visualize in grams for sure. But also, when in doubt, just like look up the item. For example, chicken Caesar salad. Okay. there's a ton of different calorie ranges. Pick the middle, so the average to high. So if I looked up chicken Caesar salad and it's like 750 calories, 250 calories, 500 calories, 650, 600, 550, 750, I would probably choose the 600 to the 650, right? It's like middle high. Do you get that? And then be wise, right? Don't douse it in dressing because that really adds up. Just be wise. Sierra, one of our trainers here at Queens of Iron, I loved something she posted on her story today. She said, saying no to something isn't saying no to you. It's actually saying yes to you for something better. For example, I really like to get dessert eating out. Can't do that all the time because I like to be fit and healthy, right? And set a good example for my son. So saying no to dessert, I might kick and scream like, I really want that flippin' cake right now. But in reality, yes, I'm saying no to that, and I might not like it for the moment, but I'm saying yes to a fit, healthy future. I'm saying yes to laying my head down at night and saying, I'm so proud of you. So proud of you. You just did that, right? Saying no to not going to the gym, right, is saying yes to a fit, healthy future. Is saying yes to beautiful muscle mass. Is saying yes to building habits that are going to get easier over time. So instead of always thinking about it like, I don't get that, or I'm taking this away, it's like, you are saying no to that. So what does that mean you're saying yes to? What does that mean you're saying yes to? When we reframe into the positive, it actually can get really exciting, and it can make that no feel a lot better. Okay, ladies, someone just came to my door and I have no idea who it is. So I'm going to go answer that. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope that was so helpful. You're amazing. Keep up the great work. Never quit. Okay. See you later. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay.